just to give you an idea when I'm talking about the snow being wet and icy, this is what I'm talking about. The snow itself looks great, but this is really the reality of what's landing on the drone, is this right here. It's basically geared up for war. The power plug is covered. There's 22 parts that are covered on the drone using the wetsuit, and we're going to see how it works here in the wet snow. Looks beautiful. We're supposed to get 15 inches of snow possibly today with 40-mile-an-hour winds. So I'm going to start filming and kind of get an idea of what the zoom can do recording wise. And I'm going to send it out over the lake. But because visibility is so important, I might not get that far. As soon as I can't see the drone, I'm going to kind of bring her in. But this is a beautiful snow. Looks good on the camera. It's more like rain right now. So we're going to go ahead and get her flying out. Very nice. Going right over the treetops. It's a lot different than flying the Phantom 4. You lose orientation pretty quick on the actual drone itself. I do notice that. Alright, I'm just going to make a nice slow pan and fly her back. Nice and slow, smooth. It's about 20 degrees outside. So visibility was definitely a problem. We were looking at no more than 800 to 1,000 feet at best. And all you have is that black dot. And I did notice that the Phantom 4 wetsuit gives a little bit better visibility for sure than the Mavic 2. That was really noticeable. You know, flying in the snow is an excellent opportunity to get comfortable with your Mavic 2 wetsuit. The drone's going to get wet from the snow, and it'll give you a little bit of confidence. And then after you get through that first snowstorm where you really fly out, you know, 12, 1,500 feet, whatever you're comfortable with, and then come back. That is a big confidence booster for you and your drone. And then you can check out the lens and see if you got moisture in the lens, which you should not, and check the battery to make sure there's no water that got in the battery. It's just a great way of checking things out. Here we're flying with the Mavic 2 using the zoom. I had the zoom basically zoomed in all the way. I just wanted to see how that worked, and I really love the zoom. I know you can do a lot of editing with the Pro and get the same effect, but I really don't have time for that kind of editing, and I enjoy the fact that I'm getting so close when in reality I'm really not. A couple times I got spooked with the trees coming up on me so quick, but I got used to it and got over the trees, even though the tree really wasn't as close as it appears. So that's the fun that you have with that zoom. This went on for a few hours. Notice when I'm flying the Phantom 4 that I have a tendency to want to keep that camera angle down because the design is different. The snowflakes have a tendency to really get on the lens of the Phantom 4. Then you have to use the C2 key to kind of shake the camera down really quick to get the flakes off of. So we did about 4 flights. The first one was really wet. The second one was wet. The third flight was extremely windy. And the fourth flight, it was getting colder. But the wind had basically died down, and this was going to be the last flight. So I thought I would go straight down the river, give you a different view. Notice that you can see the wind is starting to blow the snow almost like in a swirl pattern. But notice that nothing is getting on the lens. There hasn't been a single wet drop or snowflake that has landed on the lens. And I'm not really trying to avoid the snow. I'm just simply following the path that I'm trying to go. So that was just amazing to me, that the design of the Mavic 2 is just so much better for filming in the extreme weather. And most likely going to be in a torrential rainstorm, the same thing is going to apply. I won't know yet until I have a nice 26-minute downpour and can fly over the lake. And hopefully we'll be using this the new camera with the 600mm zoom to really zoom in on the drone as it goes out that far. Yeah, I kind of like this effect right here, how all the colors pop as you get really close. I think that looks pretty good. But just the confidence of knowing that your drone that you've done everything, to your drone to make it as water resistant as possible so you can fly in the snow with absolutely no stress. And again, it's a good way to practice, to get comfortable with your drone in the weather, knowing that it's getting wet, knowing that the motors are getting wet, but knowing also that they're aluminum brushless motors designed to negotiate water very effectively. So effective that you could submerge them, if you had the right power supply, in fresh water, and those motors would continue to work. So the fact that there are no covers on the motor, that means absolutely nothing. Protecting the battery is number one. That is the number one thing. And of course, stopping rain from getting into the drone. That's number two. So when I was getting close to the bridge, it looked as though I was actually going over the bridge, across the bridge. But in fact, I never made it to the bridge. So that zoom, again, very deceiving. I think we're going to see a lot of people's footage that is a little risky, when in fact that they're using the zoom and they're simply not that close. But this is a good example. You can see all the wires going on down there. I really didn't get as close as it appears as what is showing. So this was a good example. Here's the Mavic 2 wetsuit. Notice the stoppers are on top. You can fly with them right like that on top of the unit. It makes no difference. But when you're ready for warfare, slide them down the compression band. They fit right in on the sides, and you're ready to fly in extreme weather, getting you in and out of the storm. That's the whole idea behind the wetsuits.